First things first, let's get my ultimate gripe about this boss fight out of the way. It is a giant snake boss fight. You know, kind of boring from Capcom. Why the hell is it named Yawn? Just why? Yawn and snake does not make any fucking sense. I guess it's iconic just for the sheer weirdness of it. I mean, you're never gonna forget that Capcom named a giant snake, mutated out of its mind, Yawn. You're never gonna forget that, but why Yawn? I don't understand why. Other than that, the boss fight is pretty much your stereotypical survival horror boss fight. You know, it has a decent difficulty being the first boss in the game. It's about, depending on your skill set, 2 or 3 hours into things. You know, they decide to wait quite a while, which is a good thing because this can still be a sort of tutorial boss fight. It gets you eased into how these things are supposed to work. Because the only thing that Yawn really does is that he moves around the room. There are a couple of pillars in the room that gives you some space to work around with. And at this point you do have the shotgun, or you really should, and aiming up to kill Yawn because you've been killing zombies up and down the boards up until this point. You know what you're doing combat-wise, so it's not too big of a hurdle to actually overcome. And despite my problems with the name of Yawn, even though it's just a giant snake, Capcom does a lot with it. Like, it has a very intimidating pre-fight cutscene. It's big, so it gets a bit of that fear factor. It's at least an interesting enemy, because what Capcom did with Yawn was actually a real good thing to keep it in the minds of the players, was that it made it a two-parter rather than just the one. Sort of like the Proto-Tyrant from Resident Evil 0. But it's still, you know, it's just your good, solid, standard boss fight. All Yawn does is just walk around. He doesn't have a tail attack or any, like, wiggle crap that From Software would do with a boss like this. All it can do is attack with its face, therefore you always know where the danger's coming and you're able to work around that. I'm not sure if Yawn can take body damage, but I would suggest it, because even though you wouldn't be hitting the weak spot, you'd still be getting chip damage, which is nice to get. I mean, you have the handgun, you probably have a ton of bullets for that, so, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. You get out with the death mask, and then you can forever remember that Capcom decided to name a snake Yawn. It's kind of like naming a cat Scout, or Goldfish. Yeah, it's cute, I guess, but why the hell did you name your cat Goldfish?